What's up, everyone? It's Wacka. Welcome you to finals of SPS season 7, I think. 6, 7? I don't. 9? No, it should be season 9. Yeah, because they're gonna do season 10 next year when Champions comes out. So yeah, it's season 9. I think maybe the last time I played there was season 6, so maybe that's why I'm getting like confused. So getting into it, because I think the last time I uploaded I wasn't sure who my opponent was going to be just yet. Definitely because actually what happened was after I beat Curse, or was it Ghost Key? No, it was Curse. I played Curse, and then it was Red versus Para. And Para has not played a single game this season except for week 1. So of course, Para isn't gonna play quarterfinals. I don't know how the fuck you make it. I don't know how you get a bye in playoffs and only play one game all season. That is utterly insane to me. However, um, Red ends up making it to finals because um, reasons that I won't really talk about here, but I think anyone with a brain would probably understand what's going on. So, yeah. So, a couple things. Actually, I'll show the matchup first because I still have that loaded up. So on my side, I have Terapagos, Tornadus Therian, Iron Tread, Sneasler, Tapu Lele, Chiyu, Araquanid, Megamanectric, and Leafeon. On his side, he has the Iron Valiant, Primarina, Roaring Moon, Scizor, Thundurus Therian, Ursaluna, Glamora, Terra Mesprit, and Terra Auroras. Um, I think he had that exact team the last time I played him. I think it was like the week before. He ended up trading a couple things around. But he ended up not using Glamora all season, which is really funny. I'm pretty sure he used Auroras like once or twice. Um, but it was interesting. Last time I played him was, I believe, week 6, and I kind of demolished him, I'm not gonna lie. Sneasler kind of walked way over him. Um, and he couldn't really do too much. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, I pretty much have the same pace. So in this matchup, I'll talk about the mons I didn't bring. I didn't bring Mega Manectric. Now, Mega Main has been my MVP this season. I won't deny it. When I'm done with this game, I'll go into like my MVP. I'll just use it on here, but like the ordering of the mons will be like how well I think they performed this season. Although it might have changed after finals, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Um, so yeah, I didn't bring Mega Man despite it being my MVP this season. I felt like it was kind of free Ursaluna. I'm pretty sure Flamethrower might have like two-shot it, but if he came in on like a T-Bolt or something, then something's getting sacked. Probably Mega Man. It didn't really have that bad of a matchup, but I didn't really think it was super important, so I didn't bring it. Leafeon, usually Leafeon has been like my grass check or my ground check this season, or it's like sunny day shenanigans. However, he has two booster energy mons. Um, Roaring Moon definitely eats a hit from Leafeon. Even I'm pretty sure like Life Orb Lowering Voice doesn't really hit it that hard, and like Mesprit probably eats a hit. Um, Val could like vacuum wave me, so I figured Leafeon wasn't the best here, and I'm pretty sure Ursaluna demolishes it too. I guess I would outspeed it, but most of my mons outspeed and kill Luna, no problem. So I didn't bring Leafeon. And Chiyu, unfortunately I didn't get to use Shiny Chiyu this season, because the Shiny just came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I didn't get to use Shiny Chiyu, I don't think, this season, so yeah, no playoff no playoff content for Sir Chiyu, unfortunately. I really want to use Shiny Chiyu, but maybe I'll just have to draft it again. Its matchup was pretty awful. I mean, it kind of beat everything. I'm pretty sure it one-tapped everything, but there was Prim and Roaring Moon that didn't get one-tapped by it, and like Prim and Moon are like some of the best counters to Chiyu, so I opted to not bring it. So again, I opted to bring this squad, which is pretty much the same team as I brought last time. I changed the order a little bit on them, so it didn't look like I had just brought the same paste, but this is pretty much the same paste. Araquanid is a little bit faster, same moves. I just decreased its bulk a little bit. Iron Treads is unchanged at all. Tornadus. Well, I guess let me just talk about the sets one by one. So yeah, Araquanid is pretty much unchanged other than a little bit more speed. With the Liquidation, Leech Life, Terror Blast, Electric, and Endeavor. This is my Thundurus Therian check in case I ever needed it. Iron Treads is my Iron Treads is my guy that checks Roaring Moon. So I'm running the Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Ice Spinner, and Scary Face. In a couple of mock battles, I was able to actually click Scary Face, but last time I played Red, I didn't end up having to click it because he was like Banded Moon. And I just had things that outsped it, no problem. But yeah, it was unchanged. I literally don't think I changed anything about Treads. Tornadus changed a little bit. So instead of, I think, U-Turn, I ran Toxic. It's running Air Slash, Heat Wave, and Defog with Toxic. It's a little bit bulky for the Iron Valiant, but yeah, Torn's main purpose is to keep hazards off the field in case Terrapagos dies. And Terrapagos is most likely my lead. And also to Toxic Ursaluna because in mock battles... Oh, thank you, Oren, by the way, for doing some mock battles for me. Really appreciated it. I was kind of getting wrecked by, like, Spadef Bulk Up Ursaluna. Even if it was, like, Guts, like, it was gonna Oko everything anyways, so I put Toxic on Torn just to kind of deal with it, and if it was, like, Bulletproof, which some people like to run Bulletproof. I don't know what on my team you'd run Bulletproof for, like, actually, I don't know. Because it's not like my poison type is Sludge Bomb. Ursaluna is immune to Shadow Ball. My grass type doesn't run Energy Ball. So I guess I don't really know what he'd need Bulletproof for, but you never know. Could also be Unnerve as well. I feel like Unnerve Ursaluna is like viable, but why would you ever run that over Guts? Yeah. The next set is Tapu Lele. I don't think I changed anything about the Lele. Actually, I did. I for sure did. So I ran Psyshock over Psychic. That was, I think, the only thing I changed. I kept Grass Knot for Luna just in case. Moonblast is like a button clicky move, and Psyshock because he ran Calm Mind Mesprit last time with Terra Poison, and I figured if it got out of hand somehow, some way, then Psyshock should be able to just delete it. So yeah, I changed that. My next mon is Terrapagos. I ran the Terra Starstorm, Flamethrower, Meteor Beam, and Rapid Spin with the Power Herb. This is my lead always. It pretty much 1v1s like anything that he does, which is just awesome for me. It might lose to Prim 1v1, but getting Prim low for like Torn to revenge kill it, or just so that Treads doesn't get destroyed by it, is pretty nice. Because Prim kind of hits hard, and like allowing Prim to not hurt anything else on my team is just good. So yeah. And my last mon is Focus Sash, Unburden, Sneasler. So my set actually didn't change, however my ability and my item changed. Last time I ran AV. This time I ran Focus Sash because I figured if Moon and Val get out of hand, then they would bring me down to Sash and I'd be able to outspeed +1. But I'd outspeed Booster Speed and +1 Moon. which is basically a +2. Um, is that how that works? I think it is, but he has a hard time, I think, getting off of Dragon Dance in this game, unless he like comes in hard on Torn and like starts clicking Dragon Dance. But he'd have to be careful on Torn if I was like superpower. Um, but yeah, my set is still Close Combat, Dire Claw, Fire Punch, and U-Turn. Not fucking around with anything. Psychic Surge keeps me a little bit safe in case he wanted to run Aqua Jet Prim or like Vacuum Wave Val, Bullet Punch Scissor. So I actually felt pretty safe with Sash Sneasler, and for the most part, I just need Sneasler to eat a hit. Red, because I have his paste. He brought the AV Primarina with Torrent, Scald, Moonblast, Draining Kiss, Flip Turn, just modest AV. Next special attack, so like kind of a basic set, but it kind of gets the job done in terms of getting Terapagos low. He brought Scarf Iron Valiant, which I think is really interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't just run Booster Speed, but I guess if you're Adamant, I guess Adamant Scarf does hit harder, and you can pivot into Val if you need to. But yeah, it's looking like he's running the Close Combat, Thunder Punch, Spirit Break, Destiny Bond. I was expecting Psycho Cut, potentially, but it doesn't really look like he was opting to bring that. He ends up opting to bring a Booster Speed Moon, which I was scared of last time, but I had treads for it. He ended up running Choice Band last time, but yeah, it looks like he would rather have the Booster Speed. Knock off Outrage, Earthquake, Dragon Dance. I think that's kind of what I expected. Maybe not Outrage, but I don't really know what else he would need to run, because I think Knock plus Earthquake kind of demolishes my team. I guess potentially he could have ran like Acro to hit Araquanid, because I think... Oh no, if I saw Booster Energy, I would maybe expect Acro and then Terra and then eat Earthquakes. I don't know. I guess he just opted to bring Outrage as like a neutral click into most things, because what my favorite type is Lele. Yeah, I feel like Lele lives like any hit from +1. Anyways, his next mon was Mesprit, which he ran very physically defensive with Psychic, U-Turn, Trick Room, Toxic, and Roat Berry to hit Terapagos supposedly. It's a pretty cool tech, I suppose. And yeah, he brought Trick Room for the bear. He ends up bringing Thundurus Therian this time, so he brought Thundy over Scissor. Yeah, Scissor did nothing last time, so I think it's very fair that he brought Thundurus. Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave, and U-Turn. Ursaluna is going to be the Headlong Rush, Facade, Stone Edge, and Fire Punch. Under Trick Room, unless I have a Berry, there's nothing that switches into this thing. Although I will say Treads with Shuka Berry can take a hit, so yeah. Anyways, getting into the game. Oh, cool, it sets up for me. So he opts to bring the Primarina. Well, I guess we already see that. So getting started, because I already covered the pace. He leads with Thundurus, as I lead Terapagos. So I'm like, okay. I think he's probably going to pivot out, but I don't think he'd want to go hard Valiant here. So I'm not very scared of this lead, and he's just going to U-turn. 6% is pretty much nothing. I'm going to Meteor Beam. It's going to miss, because this week couldn't possibly be, like, more unlucky for me. If you guys watched, like, the last 2 games that I've played, it's not been amazing for me, but we are getting through. This week's almost over, guys. So yeah, I missed Meteor Beam, which really sucks, because I would have loved to know what this Prim was on turn 1. I mean, I'm just gonna assume it's AV, but at this point I'm locked in with Terapagos, so I'm just gonna have to Terra Starstorm. He didn't bring a normal resist, so Terra Starstorm was pretty free. Moonblast did a lot to me. However, at this point, yeah, I have to click Terra Starstorm. Nothing wants to switch into Terra Starstorm. So it's either Prim, gets even lower or he sacks something. So I just click Terra Starstorm again. Thank God that move can't miss, but yeah, it is unfortunate because Terapagos would have been able to beat Prim, but because I missed Terra Starstorm, that kind of sucks. However, at least I get him low enough to where I can Revenge Kill Prim with any of my mons except for Araquanid. So I'm gonna Dire Claw as he goes Mesprit now. I was maybe expecting him to be like maybe Helmet, but I could U-turn. He didn't even Terra. I don't really know why he didn't Terra. But yeah, I'm gonna U-turn into Araquanid. I probably could have went hard Araquanid, but I figured like kind of whatever. I'm gonna Liquidation as he clicks Toxic. Liquidation is a clean 2-shot, and I'm just gonna click Mesprit. He has Trick Room up, and Araquanid does outspeed everything in Trick Room, except for this Ursaluna. So I did run speed on Araquanid because I thought maybe he wouldn't want to play the Trick Room Ursaluna versus me, knowing that Araquanid could be slow, but I think he knows last time that I actually ran Araquanid fast, or faster. However, he wasn't burned yet. I should have played that turn. But he wasn't burned yet, so I always lived a hit from him. However, he crits me, which really sucks because Liquidation, it wouldn't have killed, but getting damage off on Luna would have been very, very helpful, and also stalling just one more turn of Trick Room. Just one more turn of Trick Room would have been insane for me. But yeah, he ends up Stone Edge critting without Flame Orb. Obviously, I wouldn't have lived like Guts Stone Edge. But Stone Edge is a high crit move. I've just been pretty unlucky so far this game. So yeah, Stone Edge will knock me out. Torn's gonna come in, so my idea with Torn was I'm forcing him to Facade. I think I could have just went hard Treads, but just in case, Headlong, like, cause on like knowing that I've missed Meteor Beam, I've got crit on Araquanid. I wasn't gonna put a Headlong Rush crit like over him. So thankfully Facade, he only Facades, which this is defensive Treads by the way. I mean like not super defensive, but like a resisted move still did 52% to him. So yeah, I Spinner, I crit him back. So yeah, I think crit for crit, he Facade crits me. So yeah, we get crit for crit, which is actually good for me, because I think if I didn't crit, I probably lost the game. So I'm able to Moonblast the Ursaluna as he brings in Thundurus. I stay in with Lele. I am Scarf Lele, and at this point I'm like, Lele lives a hit from everything, and assuming he's not like Scarf on like any of these guys, I also outspeed them, and I kill Val and Moon, no problem. So yeah, I stay in. Luckily, because in the past, Thundurus has T-Bolt paired me many times in my past. But yeah, I end up getting off the Moonblast, which does 71%, and I get the special attack drop. So this is very good for me. Very good for me. It allows me to stay in. Lele can take any hit because he's Scarf Thundurus, assuming I don't get crit. But I live any hit from it now. Thank fuck. He's gonna switch into Valiant here. And Moonblast will kill it. I'll take it. I think that was his best play, because I think Scarf Thundy is really solid in this game. Especially because it Revenge kills Torn, but because Valzed at this point, Torn is just a sack. So I'm able to, yeah, he brings back in Thundurus. I'm gonna sack Torn. T-Bolt will knock me out. And at this point, I'm like, well, I have to lock in because this thing is Scarfed. I don't outspeed it yet. So we'll see what happens. He's gonna crit. Not gonna para me. And, he activates my own burden. And so he brings in Moon. And I will close combat. And I am the champion of SPS Moltres Season 9. I know, I'm sure I didn't come across super hyped. I assure you, I'm very hyped that I win this. It's just been a long season of getting johned. Especially for finals, I got johned. And I was getting hacks. The fuck? I think the hacks evened itself out. I will say I definitely got very lucky at the end. I should not have won the end game the way it played out. So what would have happened is if Thundurus didn't crit me with Thunderbolt, I would have had a Focus Sash intact, and I don't think Endure consumes Sash. I feel like honestly, in my opinion, Focus Sash should get consumed as soon as you get hit. That's my opinion. I think it should get consumed as soon as you get hit, because once you get hit, then Focus Sash loses tact. I mean, unless you're like recovery into like Sash. I guess that's why it would work that way. But I was very lucky to get unlucky. And I was very lucky to not get T-Bolt parried. He clipped T-Bolt like 3 times. I thought I was getting parried on like one of them. Thank God he did not. I guess if he paired Lele, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But my God, that was utterly terrifying. So I do end up winning. He wouldn't have activated Sash, and he had booster speed on this, so I would have lost. I would have entirely lost unless for some reason Knockoff didn't kill Lele, but I'm pretty sure it did. So yeah. But I think the hacks make up for itself because I missed Meteor Beam. He would have had to show me one of his other sets in order to kill Terapagos, because Terapagos would have beat Primarina 1v1. So I had that going for me. Araquanid would have gotten chip on Ursaluna, potentially to the point where like maybe Flame Orb would have knocked it out, but I would have been able to stall an extra turn of Trick Room, and Iron Treads would have been alive to Scary Face the Roaring Moon. Because he was Shuka, I guess he probably would have killed me with Knock at that point. But because I would have been able to stall like an extra turn of Trick Room, I probably could have just sacked like Torn. Or I don't know. I don't know if the Araquanid mattered. But I definitely would have been not as far behind as I was. So I will take it. I must get a chip in 2025. My first chip of 2025. I haven't won a chip since the half randomized season in SDS, which was like a year ago now. So yeah, I do win. So let's get into this, and then I'll show you guys my stats. So you might be wondering why you're only seeing half a draft board. I'm gonna go through my MVPs of the season, or at least order the ones that I think did the most work. So in last place, I did that wrong. Oops. Oh. Okay. So here's how I'm gonna do it. We're gonna rank them from worst to best. You guys already saw Mega Man that trick. But it's fine. So yeah, in first place, I'm actually gonna put Terapagos as my worst mon. We're ranking them from worst to best. Okay. So we have Terapagos. I drafted this mon round 1. Or did I draft this round 1 or did I draft it round 2? I think I drafted it round 1. I think Terapagos is a very solid mon. It just didn't do much for me this season. It came clutch versus Curse. I will say it came clutch versus Curse. However, I don't think for like one of my other one-trick ponies that Trapagos did more than my other mons. And like, considering I didn't use Trapagos until like week 5, I feel like I couldn't really give it too much more credit because I hardly used the thing. It was just kind of there to like check something, kind of, sorta, if anything, and it kind of didn't really do that much. So yeah. And for its price, like, I think if all my mons were the same price, I still would have put Trapagos last. I legitimately think my other mons did more than it if they were like all the same price or like all the same level of value, I think. So yeah, there's Trapagos. Next up is gonna be... This is tough. I think it's gonna be Tapu Lele. No, it's not gonna be Lele. It's gonna be Leafeon. Okay, so I will say Leafeon was kind of the GOAT. In like, in the games I brought it to, it was definitely the GOAT. It did really well with the Manual Sun that I brought like week 2 or week 3. I think it was week 3. It did really well there. It scared off a Scizor. Other than that, it it pivoted in, I think, Tapu Bulu. And it pivoted in on a Lycanroc. Did I use Leafeon like last week, or was that like week 8? I think that was week 8. Was the last time I used Leafeon, so it did well. It got the 2 kills on the Sun matchup. Could have done more, but I kind of played it poorly. But yeah, Leafeon didn't really do too much else. It was only there to check Lycanroc and Tapu Bulu, and that was all it really did this season. It had that Sun matchup. Even versus the Sun team, I really wanted to bring Leafeon, but I couldn't really justify bringing it. So, yeah. Next up is going to be Tapu Lele. Now, Tapu Lele definitely showed up more in playoffs. However, I think until playoffs, like, it literally didn't touch the field. I don't think, like, a single time. It might have touched the field, like, week 8. But considering it didn't touch the field until playoffs, I don't think I could give it that much more credit. But in the games where it did something, it definitely did something. In finals was his best performance. Other than that, I think it endgame cleaned like someone's team. But the reason I don't put it above or below Leafeon is because I actually brought Lele to quite a few games, and it just didn't really need to come out. So, like, I don't want to discredit it for not coming out, whereas, like, in Terapagos' case, as a round 1 mon that did very little most of the season, I think Lele still offered more than Trap overall for the season, so I'll put Tapu Lele there. I think next is gonna be Iron Treads. This is one of the most poor performances I've seen from Iron Treads in any of my drafts. There was a period of time where I wasn't using this mon like at all. I was kind of getting in the groove of using like Mega Mane and Araquanid, and I think I was using like Torn as removal. And I don't think Treads really showed up too much as like an MVP of the team. It was definitely the MVP of like week 1, where endgame it sort of cleaned up the endgame versus like Gliscor and something else. I don't remember what that team was, but I think overall I think Treads kind of middles out. It did decent when I needed it to. Other than that, I don't think Treads really performed this season, unfortunately, but he is still my GOAT, and I will definitely use that mon again. Chi-Yu is going to be my number 5. I Potentially, I think I could put Chi-Yu, like, at Lele and, like, put Treads at number 5. However, I put Chi-Yu at 5, mostly for its performance against, who was it? I forgot who it was. Oh, I do need to finish putting in those stats, actually. It was week 8, I believe. Chi-Yu got 4 kills versus QWERTY. Okay, so it got 4 kills versus QWERTY. Every time Chi-Yu came in, it got a KO. It also had, like, a game where it did pretty well against, I think, Sun. Did I face 2 Sun teams this season? I think I did. Or maybe one of them was I set up Sunny Day and I was like, oh, I might as well bring Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu was really fun. It really only had like one game where it showed up. I'll look at the stats after this because I feel like I could be ordering them wrong, but this is my opinion, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, this is where I put Chi-Yu. It was really fun, I will say that. Next up, I think is gonna be Tornadus. Torn! It was kind of like Lele. I feel like it didn't bring it out that much. Torn came to the most games out of all of my Pokemon. Just because it came to finals over Mega Main. But yeah, Torn did Torn things this season. I didn't really run interesting sets on it. It was just kind of there to pivot around. It was able to revenge kill things that were like very slightly slower than it. I don't think I missed a Bleak Wind or like a Heat. I don't think I missed any moves with it this season. I could be wrong there. I might have missed like one time, but I definitely. I would say Torn did. I would say it did what it needed to do this season. That's like all I can say. But it didn't really excel at anything this season for me. So that is where I will put it. Next up, we will have Sneasler. I think Sneasler is very clutch this season. It had a game where it walled an Urshifu single strike with a scarf, like a bulky scarf set. And I was able to like pivot around. I don't think Sneasler got like a single poison touch this season because I will say I ran Poison Touch every week except for I think the last week, and that was it. I don't think I got a single Poison Touch, and I don't think Dire Claw procced anything. I barely think I clicked it. I think for the most part Sneasler was clicking like CC or U-turn, and I think versus Red that one time, it performed very well against Red both times. Both times Sneasler absolutely did the thing, and I'm very happy it did. So yeah, I'll put that in 3rd place overall. Next up we have a Araquanid. Terra Araquanid, so I will credit it for Terra. Araquanid was a mon, like, I picked it up, and I was like, okay, it gets webs, it's like kind of a bulky water. I wasn't planning on using it as Terra, because if you guys remember, I had Terra Diancie and Terra Gallade for the first 2 weeks, and then I swapped it to Terra Araquanid. I am so happy that I changed it to Terra Araquanid. Araquanid was absolutely goated. That mon, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm trying to remember all the things it did for me this season. There was a week where Choice Spec Surf killed something every time it came in. So it's kind of like Chi-Yu in that one game where, like, I just had to bring in Araquanid and click a button, and it killed something every time it clicked said button. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It did so well for me. Versus Red, it checked Mesprit both times. Theoretically, it would have also checked like Thundurus and like it would have done more. It could have done more. It was supposed to check the Thundurus. It did a good job at supposedly checking said Thundurus because I didn't lose to it. He didn't. I think Red didn't bring Thundurus the first time, but yeah, I checked Mesprit. It was also good for like Primarina and like other things in finals. Like Araquanid, like you can't OHKO this mon. Versus Para, it would have been my Gouging Fire check. Terra Fairy kind of beats Gouging Fire unless they run like Iron Head. I think it's Iron Head it gets. It's definitely not Heavy Slam, because if it was Heavy Slam, I wouldn't have run like 2 Terra Fairy mons into that thing. Yeah, Arachnoid was just absolutely awesome. I don't think I clicked Sticky Web a single time. I don't care. I would much rather click buttons with Arachnoid. I think Sticky Web is so lame. I would so much rather click Liquidation or Surf. I hope in Gen 10, Game Freak is ballsy enough to give this thing like Wave Crash. I kind of doubt it'll be in Gen 10 because I think it was in Gen 9 and 8. Was it in Galar decks? I'm pretty sure it was. I don't even think it really gained that much since Gen 7. Like, Arachnoid is just a solid mon. Its stats are like kind of awful, but it's a really good mon. It kind of has that Clefable syndrome, I guess. Fucking beast of a mon. Lastly, and you guys already knew it was coming. Mega Manectric is my MVP of this team. I never thought I'd see the day where Mega Main did something. I used Mega Main in SPS like my first season playing there in Zapdos. I think I brought it to 2 games. It did okay in those games, I'd say, but considering I only brought it to 2 games, like, it was nothing amazing. This season, however, like, Mega Main, I think everyone that used Mega Main popped off with it. Mega Main made it to finals in both Lugia and Moltres. I didn't bring it to finals, unfortunately. I feel really bad that I couldn't bring it, because I usually want to, like, kill farm with things, but I couldn't afford to bring it in this game. It was so sad. It was really, really sad, honestly. But Mega Main, that mon killed it in every matchup I brought it to. Every game I brought it to, it did something. Even the game I lost, like, I think the first game I brought it to, I lost. But I would say, like, it MVP'd that game. Like, even when the one game I lost versus Delp, it still MVP'd that game. Its speed tier is tremendous. Its special attack is awesome. This mon doesn't, like, it doesn't care that it's walled by ground types. Most ground types, like, the frail ones, like, if you're facing Tusk or Treads, Flamethrower into Overheat, or even probably just Overheat the Treads, like, it's killing the 2 best ground types in the format. Landorus doesn't like Overheat, and it doesn't like Flamethrower into Overheat. I think both of them don't like it. Nidoking doesn't like it. I think a lot of people just didn't bring their ground types versus me for some reason. I would say my team isn't, like, super bad against ground, but I do technically have a ground weakness, and Leafeon being my grass isn't, like, super helpful. I don't think most people really brought their grounds versus me, so it wasn't really a problem. Garchomp got destroyed by Arachnoid, if I remember correctly. Was it destroyed by Arachnoid, or was it destroyed by Leafeon? I think it was Arachnoid. I think it switched in on, like, a Surf, or it got up, like, rocks maybe, and then it died to Surf. Manectric cleaned so many times for me. It was just amazing. It could have just been my team structure. It could have just been the way other people drafted, but I thought this mon was awesome. I would recommend using Manectric to, like, anyone that is willing to try it. I will say 3 points is really cheap. And considering I think Jolteon was like 4 points, I think even like Raichu was like 3. I don't think Mega Man should be at 3. That's something I'll have to watch out for in SDS next season. I will probably end up moving Mega Man up to like 4 or 5. Maybe like 5 is fair for it. I think 3 is way too cheap for it. 5 is probably where it should be. I think it's better than Jolteon, I think. Terra Jolteon is a different story, but it's better than Jolteon. It's better than Raichu for sure. I think it's better than Raikou. The only thing with Raikou is Raikou has like Calm Mind setup and it's kind of bulky, and like you can run like subtoxic AV sets. Mega Man is not as bulky as people think it would be. Intimidate barely makes a difference on it. I mean, like, it can take an Earthquake maybe after Intimidate. or like some strong physical moves, but I feel like Intimidate wasn't really a factor for me. It was more just getting that little bit of extra bulk to make sure like I don't die, because regular Manectric is so fucking frail. But yeah, that is my opinion on all my team members. This video is very long, but there was so much I want to talk about. Oh, I'm still not even done. I'm not even done yet. Want to talk about these stats a little tiny bit. I'm gonna zoom it a little bit. So yeah, 10 games played, technically 8. I put in my forfeit wins on here. I've like just to like document it instead of just leaving it blank. I put in the wins because I for the most part I like to reflect like what other docs would say. I don't know why I scrolled away from it. Obviously league type is SV Nat deck, so I'm just gonna kind of scroll past that. Playoff seed number 1. So there we go. You can see my SDS team off to the side. I put in that we were champion, 9 wins, 1 loss, 26 plus 26 differential is really solid. So yeah, you can see my stats here. For the most part, yeah, Terapagos went in the negatives. Iron Tread somehow went in the negatives as well. Definitely one of my worst performances with Iron Treads for sure. But it didn't really need to do that, because if you scroll down, like, you got Sneasler here. It came to 5 games, but I'm pretty sure all 8 of its kills came from red. Because yeah, I believe it got 3 kills in finals, and I think it got 5 week 6. So it was there. Chiyu only came to 3 games, and yeah, I rated Chiyu in the middle. But I think Chiyu, like, it did pretty well in the games I brought it to. It looks like it died once. I think I let Lycanroc kill it at the end of week 8. Lately, I brought it to 6 games, but I'm pretty sure it only like came out in 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. I'll have to see what games I brought it to specifically. I don't remember if I brought it versus Curse. If I had to say, like, I brought it versus Red, I think I brought it versus Curse, QWERTY, obviously Red again, Shandy, I think I brought it to, and I think I brought it versus Alex Santeri. Because either that or I brought it to Ghost Key, but I don't think I brought Lele 6 weeks in a row. I think it was week 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's what it was. I would definitely use Lele again. It was also my only mon that didn't die. It never died, not a single time. So very cool. Araquanid, it died in most of the games I brought it to, but you know, it's a slow mon. Like, it's gonna break something and die, so of course it's gonna have a high death rate. But yeah, Terra absolutely carried me. Mega Main 6 games brought, so it came to the second most amount of games. Tied with Lele and Araquanid somehow. And, oh, actually Terapagos came to 6 games. What? I feel like there's no way I brought Terapagos to 6 games. Maybe did I bring Terap to, like, everything? I think I brought it versus Alec, and maybe it came the last 5 weeks. I think that makes sense. I guess I assumed I didn't use Trap as much. Got 10 kills from Mega Main this season. It's just awesome. Leafeon came to 3 games. I brought it to 3 games? Huh. I guess maybe I underrated it, but yeah, it definitely did the job. And yeah, that is it. Little side quest with these guys down here. Beartick got fucking robbed, by the way. I think Glade also got robbed. Dia Slowking. It really did suck to drop them. And I thought maybe after dropping them, I was like, I'm not gonna win a chip with without these guys. But I did it. This team is not something I'm used to drafting for sure. I've never used Chiyu, I've never used Lele, I've never used Leafeon, I've never used Sneasler. But they were the mons, like they all did the damn thing. I would definitely use all of these mons again. Might not want to use Terapagos. I think Terapagos is good, but it's not really my style anymore after, like, people know how to prep against Terapagos now, and like you kind of have to use it more defensively because I feel like offensively, like people just prep for it. So it wasn't really my thing. I'm not really much into like clicking Stealth Rock with it either. Not really into that with Treads either, so I don't really think I clicked Hazards at all this season, but hey, we did it. Looks like the doc is also suggesting that Mega Main was my MVP, and then it looks like Sneasler, Lele, and then Torn, Araquanid. I think Araquanid's its MVP score is probably low because it died the most. That's probably why. But yeah, seeing Mega Man up there is not surprising to me at all. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and going through my stats and stuff. Really fun season. I can't wait to play again next season. I might even play in their off-season format. They're doing Usum, so if anyone's interested in Usum, leave a comment on my video or message me on Discord at Wacker. And I can get you an invite there if you guys are interested in Usum, because it's going to be starting up very soon. I'm pretty sure apps are already out. Yeah, it's going to be very fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time I see you, probably for the SDS recording later today, so I'll get that out as well.